Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video for some grumpy slash sunshine romances. So I love grumpy slash sunshine romances. I think they're so much fun. I love when it's like reverse grumpy sunshine, where it's like the heroine's the grumpy one and the hero's like the more sunshiny one. I just think they're so cute and fun, and I really love this dynamic. So the first one I want to share with you is Broken Vow by Sophie Lark. This one is a mafia romance, bodyguard romance also. So the heroine is the daughter of a very famous mafia family, and she basically is almost murdered. And so her brother's like, we need to have a bodyguard for you. We need to have somebody look out for you that we trust. So that's when they hired the hero. And the hero is very sunshiny, and the heroine is very grumpy, and she is like, I don't want anything to do with him. You're so annoying. Like, I don't need you, I can protect myself. And so he has to take care of her and look out for her. And he's also like kind of a cowboy because his family owns like a ranch, and so there's like mafia aspects in this one, but also kind of a little bit small town because they go back to his ranch as like a safe house. And it's just really fun. I really like this one. I love their dynamic. It was just so good. I love Sophie Lark. There's lots of action and suspense in this one with this person that's trying to kill her. And I highly recommend this one. The next book I have is Love Me Today by A.L. Jackson. So I recently read this on audio and really liked it. So the hero is a single dad, and he moves to this small town to raise his daughter. And his daughter really wants to learn how to ride a horse because they own a ranch. And so he's like, okay, we need to find somebody who will teach you. And that's when the heroine comes in. And so the heroine and the hero like first got off on the wrong foot. Because she almost like hits him in like a parking lot, and so he really doesn't like her at first, but then he sees the relationship that him and his daughter and her are starting to develop, and he's like, well, I can't like get rid of you now because, you know, like, you're making my daughter so happy. And so that's when they start like hanging out and realizing like, oh, like, you're not as bad as I thought. And it was just really good. And he's also kind of morally gray because he has a little bit of a dark past. And there's some suspense in this one, so I really liked it. I give it 4 stars. I thought it was really fun. I do recommend the audio. It was really good. Then I have Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is a classic grumpy sunshine romance. So the hero needs a nanny, and so the heroine is best friends with the heroine from the first book, and so she's coming in town to visit her friend. And so she's like, well, maybe I could like try to be a nanny for you. And she like interviews with him, and he recognizes her because they actually met like a couple hours before this nanny meeting. And they have this like hilarious meet cute. It was so funny. And he's like, no, you cannot be my nanny for my son, because I'm like, in his head he doesn't say this, but he's like insanely attracted to her, and so he dislikes her because he's so attracted to her. And she's like, I don't care what you say, like, I am good for this, like, I can do it. And so he hires her, and she has this really beautiful connection with his son. It's really cute. And so he is just like slowly like falling for her and thinks she's so hot, and he's very grumpy. He's older than her. She's very sunshiny, very happy all the time, but like it's just like a badass heroine, and I just love her, and it's just so good. I love this romance. Then I have All Roads Lead Here by Margarita Zapata. This one's a really fun romance. It is very slow burn, so know that going in. But this is basically starts off with the heroine. She is going back to the small town where her mother grew up because her mother recently passed away. And she kind of wants to go back and feel like what her mother felt, and talked about like her whole childhood. Like, her mom loved doing hikes and being in nature, so she's like, I want to go back to that and kind of heal there and grieve there. And so she basically has this gig set up where she can is staying in this apartment above this garage, and when she gets there, the guy who set it all up is actually a teenager, and he is the son of the hero, and the hero is like, who are you, like, why are you here? And basically his teenage son basically set this all up so that they could get some money, but he knew his dad wouldn't love it. So the heroine just arrives, and he's like, fine, like, you have nowhere else to go, but I really don't want you here. And it is really funny. And so she stays there, and he's also like a wildlife ranger person. I don't really know what his job is, but he's basically always in the wilderness helping people, and so they start hanging like out when she's around him, and he's very, very grumpy, and she is just like kind of happy all the time, just like, what's his deal, like why is he so grumpy all the time? And it's a slow burn romance, kind of friends, it's like hate to love, then friends to lovers. It's so good. I really like this one, and I loved her relationship with his son, and he gets protective over her when she's going on hikes. He's like worried about her, and it's just so cute. I really, really like this one. Then I have Carnal Urges by J.T. Geisinger. This one's a really fun one. So this is a mafia romance, and our heroine basically kind of started a war between the Russian and Irish mafia. So she gets kidnapped by the Irish mafia for basically starting this like war because of this guy that she dated. And it's really, really funny. And so this guy basically kidnaps her. He basically kidnaps her, the leader of the Irish mafia in like Boston, and he's like, you were kidnapped, like we're gonna hold you as ransom. And she's like, okay, I don't care. She's very, very funny, and she is just hilarious. She's like, I don't care, like I can take care of myself. I don't care that you kidnapped me. I will get out of this. Like, she doesn't care at all, and it's so funny. He's like, bless her, because he's like, why aren't you scared of me? And it's so funny. And they start up a romance, and he really he kind of has, it's kind of hate to love at first, because he's like, I don't want to fall for her because she's the enemy, but like I really like her. And it's just so good. I really loved how grumpy he was and how he tried to like scare her, but she wasn't scared at all, and it was just so good and so funny, and they have so much angst and tension, and I loved it. Then I have The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. So this is a fake dating romance, also sports romance. So the heroine finds out that her longtime boyfriend cheated on her, and so now she has nowhere to stay. And so her best friend from the first book, who is like the heroine in that book, well, she's like, well, you can stay with my brother. And so she's like, okay. And so she goes to stay with Ryan, who's the hero, and Ryan is like, doesn't want her there at all. He's very organized. He's like, I don't want you here at all. You're too bright. I like my like muted colors and my organization. You're basically a disaster. Like, she is just like so funny. She throws her clothes everywhere, and he's like so annoyed with that. It's just so funny. But they end up starting a fake relationship because he needs to fake date someone or be in a relationship for his basketball career, because he's like the captain of the team, and he wants to keep it that way, and they are very like on like family values. And so she's like, okay, I'll fake date you because I want to get back at my ex. And so they start fake dating, and it's really, really good, and he kind of treats it as a real relationship, and it's really, really hot. I loved Ryan. He has all of these cute things he does for Indy, like acts of service. He'll like have her coffee ready in the morning, or like just all these cute little things, and I really, really love this romance. And then I have Look the Part by Julie Ann. This was such a fun one. This is a office, hate to love, single dad romance. So our hero is a big shot lawyer, and he owns this like office building, and the heroine comes in and starts working in the office below him, and he is so pissed because he's like, I do not want you here, you're very loud, because she's a music therapist. She uses music as like therapy for kids and adults. And so her profession is very loud, and he's trying to work, and he's like gets very agitated at her, but then his son starts working with her, and it's really, really cute, their relationship. Just like so many funny moments. It's like a hate to love romance, but he has a lot of demons over his wife passing, because he really feels like it's his fault. So there's a lot of like emotionality with that, and I just love this romance. It was so fun. Epitome of grumpy sunshine. She's very like sunshiny and happy, and he's just like, you're annoying, like I don't want you here. And it's just so good. But he's like very attracted to her, so he's like, damn, like I'm so attracted to you, but I find you annoying. And I just loved it. I thought it was such a great romance. Alright, well that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about some grumpy slash sunshine romances. This is one of my favorite tropes, so I really wanted to do a video on this trope. But I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.